These two players are starting to hook up. Could that be something down the line we start to see as a duo where you see Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith hooking up with one another and moving the chains? And then get this, moving the one-loss record, because that's what Jalen is starting to do. You know what's funny in this process that Jalen Hurts has started to do? He's getting better, and the one-loss record's getting better. Am I right when I say that? The one-loss record is getting better. And how about this? The Eagles don't suck. If you were Dallas, I would look at that Eagle team now. Remember something. You beat the brakes off the team at home that in the previous week destroyed the Cowboys. I don't know. That will be on the back of my mind when I show up to Eagles complex and get my game plan for this upcoming week. I'd feel awful good about that. So I ask you, and I say this to you, even the haters, have you pumped the brakes on Jalen Hurts and said, he's getting better? I did. There's nobody in the draft I care about. Okay? There's nobody in the draft I care about. I don't want any of those guys. You want to draft them in the latter rounds? I'm not taking any of my top 2 rounds and using those top 2 rounds to take any of those guys. No way. Not when I see a kid continuing to improve. He's continuing to improve, guys. You might be a hater. You have to tell the truth. Don't lie. He's getting better, isn't he? Jalen Hurts is getting better. AKA Big Sills. What a week. What an absolute week of football that we have coming up and that we just witnessed. Saturday and Sunday told us an awful lot about the college game, and clearly we don't know anything about the NFL because upsets galore were on Sunday. Can you really tell me who the best team in the NFL is? Is it the Dallas Cowboys? One week they get killed by a Bronco team that the Eagles took apart. And then the next weekend I'm watching Washington beat up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. By the way, before we get started, I want to welcome everyone aboard here as we do each and every single Football Monday. Smile, go Eagles, Ewing, Carlos. Hey, Johnny Blaze of Madden. Thank you for coming aboard. By the way, we always say, please start out the show by hitting the like button. And some of you who are just tuning in are probably going, who's he talking to? These are the folks that jump aboard and now are part of the Big Sills Army here on the National Football Show. Xander, get old man Krause going. Big Sills Army, National Football Show, baby. That's what we want to get going here. All right. I'm going to say this to you about the Eagles and the Bronco performance. 30-13, the Philadelphia Eagles get a damn impressive win on the road. Okay? Chalk it up, sports Philly fan. Thank you. Got an impressive victory. I'm going to say this to you about Jalen Hurts, the starting quarterback for the Eagles here. Do you know why each and every single week we sit here and debate whether or not Jalen is the potential heir to being the starting quarterback for the Eagles? Do you know why we have that debate? Because he wins unconventionally. Jalen Hurts wins unconventionally. Are they the most accurate passes? No. Does he sometimes look off reads? Yes. But here is the number one thing that you have to look at with Jalen Hurts. Does he win? He won at Bama. He won at Oklahoma. He's winning now. And our problem is that we're looking at something right now that is something that, just like in Baltimore, Is this what I want my offense to look like? And can we win a Super Bowl with this style of play? Folks, it's about the style of play that we're not sure of. It's not the player. Jalen Hurts is on pace to have a great first year as a starting quarterback in this league. His numbers are going to be with some of the best in the sport, especially the versatile quarterbacks that can get out in the perimeter and run. What we're watching right now is a kid that we're not sure that's the style that can win a Super Bowl. Do you understand? I mean, I'm going to make a comparison to Jalen Hurts. And who do you think I'm going to compare Jalen Hurts to? If you had to pick a quarterback over the last 20 years who we're hoping he becomes, and he starts to look like this player, and I'm starting to see this every single week, who would that one NFL legend be that you want to see him? East Camden says Russell Wilson. Anybody would want their quarterback to look like Russell Wilson. I think Jalen Hurts has an opportunity to look like Steve McNair. Would you be okay with Steve McNair as your starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles? I think he's a younger version of Steve McNair. I think he is got those intangibles like McNair. Now, is he as accurate as Steve? No. Is he as good a runner as Steve? I think so. Is he as big as Steve? Not quite. But boy, I'll tell you something. Jalen Hurts plays like Steve McNair. And didn't we always used to say this? I thought about a guy who got criticism for his style of play. 23-1, I don't think he looks at all like Michael Vick. I think he looks more like McNair because he doesn't have the wheels that Vick has. And nor does he have really the shotgun arm like Vick had. Vick could throw that ball 85 yards down the field. I think he's more of a version like McNair. Okay? Like someone like that. And I started watching him yesterday, and I'm like this, the problem is it just doesn't look like the other guys in the league. And that's why we're so critical. We're critical of the process that he's forming into on being a starting quarterback in this league. So it questions, whether or not we think he can win a Super Bowl with that style of play. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's style of play can win a Super Bowl. I don't know that yet. He hasn't demonstrated that at all in the postseason, am I right? He's not demonstrated that. Is he a gifted player? Yes. Are we seeing the same things with Jalen Hurts? Gifted, talented, winner. Yes. I'm seeing all those intangibles. And I like it. I started this year off because I covered your team from 30,000 feet. And now that I kind of look it in the face, this kid's getting better. And if I can continue to see a process of any player on my roster getting better, I'm not going to pull the plug out from that for the next best thing. I'm going to give that kid every opportunity to succeed and to continue to grow. By the way, do we all agree? Is Devontae Smith starting to develop? I think so. Last couple of weeks, he's looked pretty impressive. I think he's looked pretty impressive. These two players are starting to hook up. Could that be something down the line we start to see as a duo where you see Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith hooking up with one another and moving the chains? And then get this, moving the one-loss record. Because that's what Jalen is starting to do. You know what's funny in this process that Jalen Hurts has started to do? He's getting better, and the one-loss record's getting better. Am I right when I say that? The one-loss record is getting better. And how about this? The Eagles don't suck. If you were Dallas, I would look at that Eagle team now. Remember something. You beat the brakes off the team at home that in the previous week destroyed the Cowboys. I don't know. That will be on the back of my mind when I show up the Eagles complex and get my game plan for this upcoming week. I'd feel awful good about that. So I ask you, and I say this to you. Even the haters, have you pumped the brakes on Jalen Hurts and said, he's getting better? I did. There's nobody in the draft I care about. Okay? There's nobody in the draft I care about. I don't want any of those guys. You want to draft them in the latter rounds? I'm not taking any of my top 2 rounds and using those top 2 rounds to take any of those guys. No way. Not when I see a kid continuing to improve. He's continuing to improve, guys. You might be a hater. You have to tell the truth. Don't lie. He's getting better, isn't he? Jalen Hurts is getting better. Old Cole says, what do you think about Reagor? He blows and get him off my fucking team. The kid Watkins has clearly taken his gig. End of story. Don't bring that piece of shit up again. He is a nothing. By the way, nothing personal, kid. I'm talking about your shitty talent. Nothing personal. I don't know you from a can of paint. But you don't belong in an NFL locker room. Chalk it up, Sports Philly. If Quez Watkins catches that perfect ball, we're having an even bigger conversation right now. Absolutely. 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 Jermaine, thanks for stepping in. You put that piece of shit on the practice squad, I don't want him in my organization. I don't want losers in my organization. I want people who want to show up and win. You got a quarterback that's breaking his ass every Sunday. You better be breaking your ass every Sunday too. That's what inspires people to play hard for the guy who's taking the hits. I see my quarterback getting his ass hit. I'm going to play my ass off for that guy. He's doing it. I'm doing it. I'm not missing games. My quarterback's out there trying to win ball games for me. He's improving. If I'm an O lineman or D lineman or anybody in that fucking locker room, I'm going, the kid's getting better. The kid's getting better. Let's play. Let's go. I don't care what the media says. Dumbasses like Sileo, we're saying the kid sucks. Let's move on. Hang on. They're right. He's getting better. He's getting better, guys. That's the difference on my show compared to other people's show. It's getting better. Met it. You started seeing the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Hey, the kid's getting better. I had Krause Jr. coming out. What was it, about a month and a half ago? Sills, this dude's a real ticket to watch. And he's right. You're like, I know, man. That guy's amazing. Then they get beat by the Dolphins. You know what people say? Oh, you see, well, they got beat by the Dolphins. I'm like, do you see the Buccaneers just get killed by the Redskins? And I said Redskins. I don't do that shit. Pretend not to give the identity to the team that we all know what they're talking and who they're talking about. Don't play 14-year-old games with me. Until you rename the team, it will be Redskins to me. Isn't that dumb? It's like they're telling you, I don't want you to say the name. Fuck you, man. Change the name and I won't. How dumb is that? Well, we didn't, we keep the colors and everything, but we just don't say, the Redskins name. Shut up. Kevin says, yes, Dan. You call it like you see it. Guys, he's getting better. His ability to get out in the open, too, when he's running the ball. He's a damn good open field runner. He moves the sticks. He's getting better. And watch this. Am I in a position where I say he's the future of the team? No, I'm not there. But let me ask you this, guys. Even the biggest critics, let me ask you, is he making you pause? Is he making you pause? He's making me pause. And I wanted to move on after week 4. Trevor says he ain't the future. He's a stopgap. Trev, could be. Because I say this to you, I think he's in the Teddy Bridgewater category. But I'm all right with Teddy Bridgewater. There's nobody coming out in the draft, in my opinion, that's better than Teddy Bridgewater. And that kid Corral, you can keep him. I don't want him. I think those guys they make immature mistakes in games. Even the kid from Pitt. Lassay says, stopgap for who? The Eagles is who he's saying. Jalen looked as good in the pocket as I've seen him. Absolutely. I thought he moved around in the pocket. I thought he was doing his progressions and reads. It was the best game I've seen him play fundamentally as a Philadelphia Eagle. And in a place that is a very tough place to win, Denver. That adds it to the conversation a little more, too. Did it on the road in Denver. Hey, you could flip a coin. Winning in Denver or winning at Arrowhead. Pretty tough places to play. Okay? And pretty tough places, not just to play, but to pull a win out of there. Okay? They ran the ball exceptionally well. Isn't it funny? Ever since Sirianni started being committed to running the ball, Jalen Hurts has started to improve. I'm going to get to Sirianni here in a minute. Okay? Defense held a Denver team that destroyed the Cowboy defense to 96 yards rushing. It's pretty impressive, man. 80-some-odd yards running the ball, 176. Devontae Smith, 66 yards and reception yards, 2 TDs. Dude. Angel says, what about the running game? Absolutely stepping up. Lassay says, Wentz's first year was terrible. By the way, Carson Wentz has his Colts now at 5-5. How about those Titans continuing to win? How about those Titans continuing to win? So much more to hit on, too, across the league. By the way, if you guys ever want to watch a game where you see the best coaching staff in the National Football League, do me a favor. Take out the tape of the Patriots versus the Browns. That was textbook. That was textbook on how you coach. Bill Belichick by far has the best coaching staff in the league. He's taking this rookie quarterback. And by the way, I think the Patriots are in the conversation right now for one of the better teams in the AFC. They're playing great football, and they run it, and they get after your ass. And it's one of the best coach teams I've seen in a long time. That fucker can absolutely coach. Don't ever get it twisted that Bill Belichick can't coach. How about this, too? The Patriots are trending up, and the Buccaneers are now trending backwards. Brady looked old this past weekend against Washington. I'm not saying that's going to stay, but he looked old. Smile, Cam's return gave it an injection, didn't it? I loved it too. Okay? Eastside says, how about Colts and Eagles Super Bowl? Yeah, well, guess what, man? You'll be waiting on that ticket for a little bit. Who would you rather have, Jay Cutler or Baker Mayfield? Give me Jay Cutler. Baker Mayfield sucks, and I've been saying it since day one. Mac Jones is getting it done. But I am really impressed with Jalen, with the running attack. Now let's get into the coach. By the way, Gary Cobb from Fox 29, former Eagle himself, works the pre and post game for the Fox 29 affiliate there in Philadelphia. We'll get his thoughts on what he saw. Maybe he sees it completely different. But I say this to you. Jalen's getting better. The team is getting better. And the team is better coached. Here, that's Nick Sirianni's best coaching game since Atlanta. Methodical, kept to it, stayed in his lane, kept Jalen on the rails. They played good on defense. Jonathan Gannon had a great game plan. 13 points in Denver. I'm all right with that one too. The entire coaching staff had a spectacular day. And, you know, because it's, you know, people are always looking and wanting to see the negative in this. Don't. This is not college football, folks. You don't have to look pretty, but they did. And how much do you take out of one win? Like I told you, you look at the collective group of the last 4 or 5 games. Let me ask you something here. How good do you think the Eagles have been playing over the last 4 weeks? How good do you think they've been playing? Wick says, enjoy this win. Wick says, I'm not even going to talk crap on Hurts because you know why? Wick knows he's watching them get better. Lassay says this, Belichick can win with Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett, and he's still going to get it done, which is true. We beat Dan. Thoughts on Teddy Bridgewater tap out? No effort at all on that side. I was shocked. Joey, I was shocked because I'm a Bridgewater fan. I was. I'm a big fan. So Nick Sirianni now. He's getting better too. Guys, that football team is starting to look like a organization heading in the right direction. I'll ask you this. Let's do it as a combo here. And guess what, folks? When you say this, that means you have to give Howie Roseman love. I know you don't want to hear this. But you may have to give Howie a pat on the head here. Hang on here. Is Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have this team aimed in the right direction over the last 4 weeks? Do they look better over the last month? How do you think the Eagles look over the last month? Better? East Camden says no. Old Cole says yes. Alexander says C. Defense performance was the most impressive for me. But also, Eagles went up by 2 possessions in the third quarter. That probably flipped the Broncos' game plan. It did. Ewing, better. Jermaine, yeah, Howie soaked all this in, especially if they make a playoff run. Chalk It Up just said something. They're sticking to the identity, win or lose. It's respectable. That's correct. Stick to a formula. Stick to a formula. Got to tell you guys, even when you're the hardest critics, you give justice their due, because when players make your take and you have to take that take and reevaluate that, that's a good thing for your team. Nobody roots for failure here. Nobody. That's a good thing. Eagles had a good day. And I think they're looking pretty damn decent over the last couple weeks. Something has clicked in. What is that? Let's ask Gary Cobb from Fox 29 in Philadelphia next. You keep it right here on the National Football Show.